With Syracusan verses our Thalaea first thought fit to play, nor blushed to live among the woods. When I was singing kings and battles, Cynthius pulled my ear in admonition. A shepherd, Tityrus, should feed his flock fat, but recite a thin-spun song. I now, for you'll have many eager to recite your praises, Varus, and compose unhappy wars, will meditate the rustic muse on slender reed. I sing to order, yet if any read this too, if any love-beguiled, Varus, our tamarisks will sing of you, each grove of you, nor any page please Phoebus more than that headed by Varus's name. Proceed, Pierides. Young Chromis and Mnasilos once saw Silenus lying in a cave asleep, his veins as ever swollen with yesterday's Iacchus. Only the garlands lay apart, fallen from his head, and from its well-worn handle a heavy tankard hung. Attacking, for the old man had often cheated both with hope of song, they bind him with his own garlands. Eclogue joins in, arriving as they grow alarmed, Eclogue of naiads loveliest, and now he's looking, with blood-red mulberries, paints his temples and his brow. The trick amuses him, but why the bonds, he asks. Release me, lads. It is enough to have shown your power. Now hear the song you want. Your payment shall be song, hers of another kind. And with that he begins. Then truly you could see fawns and wild animals playing in rhythm, then stubborn oaks rocking their crowns. Not so much joy does Phoebus bring Parnassus crag, nor Orpheus so astonish Rhodope and Ismarus. For he was singing how through a great emptiness the seeds of earth and breath and sea and liquid fire were forced together, how from these first things all else, all, and the cosmos' tender globe grew of itself. Then land began to harden, and in the deep shut off Nereus, and gradually assume the shapes of things. And now the dawn of the new sun amazes earth, and showers fall from clouds moved higher overhead, when first the forest trees begin to rise, and when rare creatures wander over unfamiliar hills. Here he recounts the stones by Pyrrha thrown, Saturnian kingship, Caucasian eagles, and Prometheus' theft. Adds at what fountain mariners for Hylas lost, shouted till all the shore re-echoed Hylas, Hylas. And, fortunate if herds of kine had never been, consoles Pasiphae for love of a white steer. Unlucky maiden, ah, what madness mastered you! The Proitides with mimic lowing filled the fields, but yet not one pursued so base an intercourse with beasts, although she feared the plough's yoke for her neck, and many a time would feel on her smooth brow for horns. Unlucky maiden, ah, you wander now on mountains, but he, with snow-white flank pressing soft hyacinth, beneath black ilex ruminates the sallow grass, or tracks some female in a great herd. Close, you nymphs, Dictaean nymphs, now close the clearings in the woods. Somewhere, perhaps, the wandering hoof-prints of a bull will find their own way to our eyes. Possibly he, attracted by green grass, or following the herd, is led on by some cow to Gortin's cattle sheds. Then sings he the maid who admired Hesperidean apples. Then, with the moss of bitter bark surrounds and lifts the Phaethontiads from earth as alders tall. Then sings of Gallus wandering by Permessus' stream, how one of the sisters led him to Aeonia's mountains, and how all Phoebus' choir stood up to greet a man. How Linus there, the shepherd of inspired song, his locks adorned with flowers and bitter celery, told him, The Muses give you this reed pipe, there, take it, which once they gave the old Ascrean, whose melody could draw the stubborn rowans down the mountainside. Tell you with this the origin of Grinia's grove, lest any sacred wood be more Apollo's pride. Why should I speak of Nisus Scylla, who, so runs the rumour, white groin girdled round with barking monsters, tossed the Dulichian ships, and in her deep whirlpool with sea hounds, would savage frightened mariners? Or how he told the tale of Tereus' limbs transformed, what feast, what present Philomel prepared for him, by what route sought the wilderness, and on what wings before that swooped unhappy over her own roof. All that from Phoebus' meditation in old days blessed Eurotas heard, and bade his laurels memorize, he sings, the smitten valleys tell it to the stars, till Vesper came to view in a reluctant sky, and bade the flock be folded, and their number told.